you have a company that's scaling quickly, or that the sales are increasing, the efficiency is going up. Technology can be a massive accelerant to that. It just makes that happen that much quicker and that much smoother if done correctly.
Welcome back to Logical Technologies. I'm Ryan. Again with me is owner of Logivision Technology here in Winesburg, Joel Hershberger. And Joel, thanks for joining us again today.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. Today, we've got an exciting topic. How do I get the most value out of IT?
That's a question I hear constantly. It's like, okay, IT is kind of a necessary evil. It's like, well, I need to buy a new computer.
Yeah. Is it insurance or is it an investment, Joel?
I mean, it can be both.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
So
Right.
it just depends on how you use it. If you're a small shop and you have to run QuickBooks, and that's the only reason that you have technology, then it can almost be insurance, because you have to protect the QuickBooks instance. You have to like it feels as a necessary thing.
Yeah.
But then if you flip that on its head though, why have QuickBooks? Well, it saves you a ton of time, saves you a lot of issues. So technically it is an investment in itself.
Gotcha. So I have a business. We have 10 users in our office, and we don't use technology to sell. We don't use technology to sell our product or to do anything with our. But Joel, why do I need technology?
So let's go with the business that you have. It depends on what industry that you're in. I mean, if I was ready to say retail, maybe you don't need to invest a lot. But now when I actually say that, even in something like a retail business, to where you might just have point of sale systems, it's still very valuable. But really, what makes sense on having technology is just it can automate a lot of process. So where it would normally take a lot of manual labor, you can now replace this with technology, and instead of hiring those next two people that may be off for a week, or it may not be fully consistent, you have to pay benefits, all that stuff. Instead of doing that, you can implement technology on some things and fully automate it. Your consistency goes up. Simplicity goes up. So that's one piece. But then the other piece is data. Like as I said, the retail example, if you have technology integrated in that business, you can very quickly see, okay, where am I making money? Where am I losing money? What are people buying the most of? If you just have that on paper or just very basic technology, you have no idea where you're actually making that money. So this might be able to increase your profit margins, or you might decrease the amount of inventory that you need to invest in. So that in itself could very quickly make technology extremely valuable.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about process and implementing automation or technology to help you automate those processes, not only does it improve consistency, it's just so important, I think, from my experience, to know that that's fewer human hands, and we know humans make mistakes that will actually touch it. And so the consistency goes way up, but also the efficiency, and there's a digital footprint in there to where you can go back and actually track if the product didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, you can actually go back and track back to where did it break? So that's a great point. Help us understand, Joel, the cybersecurity part of it, and not just the cybersecurity on, well, I'm paying for something I'll never use, or like that insurance kind of it feels sticky sometimes, I guess.
I mean, really, cybersecurity, that is insurance. I mean, at the end of the day, it's preventing the issue from happening, because oftentimes in today's world, if you have a security event, the damage is already done. Now let's just hope you have cyber insurance to help cover some of the financial aspects of it. But it is, if you did invest in putting technology in place to automate things, you now want to protect what you just invested, right? So there is that offset there. But if our entire focus is just, let's not use technology so we don't have to, protect it, probably doesn't make a lot of sense.
Sure.
But it's to go back on the, how can I make the most value out of it? It's the awesome thing about technology is just on how much it can enhance or how much it can accelerate what's already happening. Like, let's say that you have a company that's scaling quickly, or that the sales are increasing, the efficiency is going up. Technology can be a massive accelerant to that. It just makes makes that happen that much quicker and that much smoother if done correctly. But on the flip side, let's say that you have a struggling company or that you're struggling with process or whatever it might be. Technology isn't just going to go and fix that. Like some people will just say, oh, hey, I heard my buddy implemented this and it works amazing, so I'm going to go use this tool, and it ends up being a complete flop. It's because technology does not solve all problems. Technology best utilized is already being consistent and now just plugging that in and making it much more efficient. And it's one of my favorite books, Good to Great, Jim Collins. I mean, the entire book is on how do good companies become great companies? How do they outperform everybody? And they literally had an entire chapter on technology, and it was, I might be missing some things here, but they looked at, okay, is technology a deciding factor on what takes a company from good to great? And the answer, believe it or not, was no. It was not a deciding factor. But they did realize that every other company, pretty much every company that went from good to great, it was part of the factor. But there were companies that didn't go from good to great. They stayed at good. They may have invested more into technology. But all that it said was, if you have all of your core processes and the core business is already scaling from good to great, you throw technology into that mix, it's going to, instead of doing this, it's going to be doing this.
Yeah, gotcha.
So that's the cool thing about it, but it can absolutely be used as a, just a multiplier of everything.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing you say is, if my process is breaking because of, undisciplined or lack of discipline or a lack of accountability, like technology is not going to come in and help you there.
No.
But if I have a solid process, technology will help take me to the next level.
100%.
And it's not gonna drive it, but it's certainly going to be there, right there alongside, paving the way for you to get to that next level. Okay. So that's awesome. Joel, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for you have a big brain.
Not sure about that, but
Joel, thanks again for your time. Appreciate you. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. Send us your questions at QA@logivisiontech.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn.